Hi everyone, welcome back to Plum Mashable. So as you can tell already, I'm not at my desk, I'm outside today, so please excuse all dog noises, neighbour noises, etc. So today I'm going to be filming for you. I'm going to coat my rose gold planner. I've got the Angelus brand number 600 acrylic finisher. This comes in matte, satin, the original and high gloss. I went for this one as opposed to the high gloss because I think that it might be too, I don't want this quite as shiny as it is now. As you guys would have seen in my unboxing video, I've got a couple of scratches here, which this obviously isn't going to fix, but I do have a little bit of peeling and flaking sort of around the edges, so hopefully this will fix that. So to start this project, you're going to need some sponges and some brushes. I just got mine from Spotlight. I'll link them all down below for you. So I'm going to start by just taking one of these out of its bag and just grabbing a couple of the brushes I think I might need. So I've just got two sort of reasonably, one really small one, one slightly medium sized one, and the sponge. The directions on this says to use a sponge or rag, so I'm going to use a sponge for the main part of it, but then just use the brushes to sort of do these delicate parts. And I'm just going to tip it out into, this is just a paint container lid that I've washed out, so I'm just going to pour, I'll do it so you guys can see, so I'm just going to pour the finisher into there. I don't know how much to use, so we'll put that much and see how we go. And I've already got it on my hands. That's not a good way to start. So I'm just going to grab hold of the sponge. So I'm just going to put the sponge into the finisher. I don't know how much to use. I guess too much is not a good thing, so I'm just going to start that. I'm just going to start on the back just because I'm not really sure. So I'm just pressing this. See, that looks, I don't know if that's how it's supposed to look, or when I got it, the lady that I bought it from said not to rub because that might dislodge some of the leather that's already flaking, but whether that's right or not. So I'm just pressing really, it is rather firm, I will admit. I'm just trying to bring up some of the excess. I don't want, I'm just going to do a bit of a light rub. So I've just done the top half here, so a little bit does go a long way. That's a good thing. Just like I said, I'm just not sure how much I'm supposed to use or not use. I'm just going to rub this all over the back. Just being not so worried about rubbing in the middle. That's not where I've got most of my flaking. Just on the edges I'm just pressing as opposed to rubbing. I've obviously got bunches of newspaper down so that I don't damage the table I'm using, or I don't damage my planner more than it already is damaged. Just going to get a little bit more just to put right on the edges. I'm so worried about it going into the fabric. Just grabbing one of the dry sponges out just to kind of dab off some of the excess. See, I can see bits of the sponge that have flaked I'm just... I'm really scared now. Everyone said it was so easy and I'm not finding this easy. I'm very nervous for some reason. I also think the more I do this, the more I'm making it worse. Not worse, but... So the main part that's flaking for me is this top corner, so just making sure that that's okay. Like that's... I don't know whether I've pulled it all off, or I'm not quite sure. I'm just going to go ahead and do the strap just with a paintbrush. And I'm just using a brush instead of the sponge for this part, just because I want to be a bit more delicate, especially around the button. I'm just going to try this bit a little different and just actually put like a thicker layer, because you can actually tell where the medium is. So I'm just doing it a little bit thicker, and I'm just going to basically just see how it goes. I'm assuming it dries clear. That to me would be the normal thing for it to do, but who knows. So now I'm going to do the front. I'm going to do the front a little bit different. I'm basically going to just put the sponge in it, just dab it all over and then leave it. I'm not going to rub like I did the other one. I'm just sort of going to put an even layer across the whole sort of sorry, I'm concentrating and I can't talk when I'm concentrating. Just putting an even layer across the entire planner, or as even as I can, but I'm gonna leave it like on the other, when I did it before, I was trying to kind of make it so it didn't have too much left over, whereas like I couldn't see it, whereas this time I think I'm just gonna dab it on and then kind of just spread out the excess so it's not too much on there. Just gonna dab it so that there's no sort of bubbles, and if I can see a bit that doesn't look like it's got any coverage, just gonna cover it up. You can tell which parts, like this is very, it's not really white, but you can tell where you have and haven't put it. So like I said, I'm just dabbing off so that there's no sort of big bubbles. And I'm just hoping that this works. There's just something stuck. Okay, that must actually just be a bit of the planner. That's alright, I got it. There's just a bit of dirt. Okay, so I'm just going to put, I don't know if I should put more on the back or if I should just leave it to dry and then see if it needs another coat. I don't know. I'm kind of flying blind here. I'm going to leave it just like that for now and just sort of see what it's like in 10 minutes. So I'll leave it at that and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes, and what I've sort of decided is that I think I need to be a lot more liberal with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a reasonable sized brush, and I'm just going to go, not to town, but I'm just going to give it a really good coating. I figure it's better to have too much than not enough. So we're going to give it a shot. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So I'm just going to paint this on and not sort of overthink this too much, which is very hard for me to do. I'm a thinker, that's what I do. It's just one little bit. There we go. Just all seem to be hanging around. Radio. Right, that's the back. So I'm going to do the exact same thing to the front and see how we go. So that's just with a much more liberal kind of coat. So I'm just going to do the same thing as I did on the other side. I'm just going to get rid of any sort of big build-ups. And I'm going to leave that alone. I am just going to do another quick coat on the strap, which seemed to have done very well with the coat I did before. I'm just going to put another coat on this bit. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to dry until it's actually dry, and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so welcome back everybody. It's been about an hour and this is what I've got. It hasn't affected the shine at all. I think it looks really good. I can still obviously see the scratches from where I had originally had the scratches, and that's okay. I've got a bit of a line on the back, but it seems to have stopped the flaking. It's certainly a lot stiffer, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Over time, I think that'll be a good thing. It's a bit rough, but I think it just needs now to be played with a bit, and that might solve the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a coat on the inside. I'm going to do that all off camera. I'll do a coat on the inside, and then I'll film my final impressions at the end once everything's done. Probably more than likely up in my office, just so you guys can see what the final product is. Hi everyone, so it's been a couple of days since I coated my planner in the Angelus finisher. I will put a link to where I got it from down below, so if you guys do want to find it, you can. And I just thought I'd share with you the results. So as I said when I was doing it, it hasn't fixed the scratches in the corner. I never expected it to. When it comes to the flaking, and I don't know how much of this you guys can see, so I'm just going to sort of point it out. Most of the flaking I had was along here. It has stopped that. It's no longer flaking, like I can rub on it and nothing comes off. It doesn't feel as soft as it did before. It is a lot stiffer, like even just opening and closing it, it feels stiffer. But overall, like you can tell something's been done to it. It's been changed in some way, shape or form. You can see a slight line here, but I think that's my mistake more than anything else. But overall, I think it's worked. It certainly stopped the flaking, which was the point of it all. Am I happy with the result? It's a bit bumpy on the front, I will say that too. Like if I run my hands over, I can feel bumps. I'm assuming that over time, as you sort of use it, that'll stop. But we'll just have to wait and see. I haven't used this yet. Like I haven't pulled it, taken it out of the house and carried it around. I guess I'm still a little bit nervous about that. If I do, it's going to be in a cloth bag just to be on the safe side. But overall, I'm reasonably happy with the results. It certainly saved it from being something that lived in a box and never got touched, which is slightly wasteful. So I will definitely use it now. I just have to work out what I'm going to use it for, because originally it was going to be my other carry around planner, which is now what my pause planner has become. everything got kind of all mixed up. So I just have to sort of decide what this is going to be. Maybe this turns into my family history planner because it doesn't leave the house quite as often. I'll let you know anyway. But thank you very much for watching this video, guys. My planner videos about the rose gold ones have certainly been the most popular on my channel for the last couple of months, so thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions about the process, let me know. Like I said, I'll link the product down below. I'll also link the 3 videos that I've done prior. I'll put them down below for you guys as well. These are now discontinued. Just something on a side note, I have noticed a lot of people on Facebook and even on eBay selling these planners. Just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say don't buy them. Just make sure you ask, has it been sealed? Can you show me some kind of proof that it's been sealed? Even if it's something as simple as I'm showing you the receipt or the bottle of the kind of sealer that they've sealed it with, because if they say they've sealed it and they haven't, and then you get it and it's flaking like hell, you're not going to be too happy. So just ask lots of questions when it comes to these ones. kikki.K are discontinuing them. They do know that you can no longer buy them. Something I did find out though, they are coming into stores to sell at the I'm not perfect or imperfect, whatever they call it, at 20% off. So if you do want one, try a store first. You know they're unsealed. The finish is not hard to get. The treasure sealer, if that's the one you really want, is a bit harder, but I found this one really simple. It was 20 bucks plus I think it was $6 delivery. It's pretty good. So like I said, I'll link that down below. Otherwise, guys, that's it for this update. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more about how maybe I use this in the future, please subscribe so you don't miss it. Something I am going to do, I'm going to decorate these dividers, and I'm actually going to show you how I decorate the kikki.K dividers, as opposed to usually I make my own usually. So if you are interested in that, please subscribe so you don't miss it. You can follow me on Instagram, Snapchat and Facebook. I'll put them all down below for you. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Friday. See you later. Bye.